Hola, and welcome to your weekly adventure on High Plains Passport. Last week on High Plains Passport, we met with an artist named Renacho. He is the founder of Urbano Colectivo, an organization of El Salvadoran artists whom are working together for the greater good of their country. This is part 2 of our series, which explores El Salvador through the eyes of its artists. We are meeting with 2 other members of this collective, George and Oscar. George passes me 2 tattered journals, and at first it looks like someone spilled coffee on them. But with a closer look, no, it's all part of the master design of his artwork. He sketches in ink and then uses coffee like watercolors to shade the subjects. They look like old sepia photographs with dimensions of brown stretching from pastel to bold. It is a new style for him that he is still developing as he branches away from his graphic design background. This is Victor Ortega, and he's translating for George.
Bueno, mi nombre es Jorge Merino. This new interactions with the collective group, he's getting another point of view. He's focusing more on painting, on having this dialogue between the people that surrounds him. And we don't just get to see the violence on TV or hear about it in the news. We get to actually live with it. We see people in the streets that are violent, and we see people in the streets that are good or that are bad.
Violence is a pressing issue in El Salvador, especially in the center of San Salvador, where the Colectivo is based, which is likely why this theme is heavily integrated into their art. George tells me of a time when he ventured out of his country, and he was astonished by the people's reaction to El Salvador. It seemed as though no one, including himself, could separate El Salvador and safety issues. When he returned, his art began to incorporate this, and now he has dedicated all of his artistic efforts to this awareness.
Art is a tool to make people think about our reality, to show another side of the coin, and people are starting to question that and why it is. So it is a tool, a way to create awareness.
Oscar, another member of Urbano Colectivo here in San Salvador, has also dedicated himself to the same mission, or the same dialogue, a word which both artists use frequently when describing their artistic motives. Dialogue. They want to engage with each other, they want to connect, and talk about the subject matter tackled in their art. It is almost as if they used their art as an introduction to a conversation about violence, as though people look at their art and ask, why violence? And the artist replies, you tell me. Sometimes Oscar's artwork is slightly controversial, but that does not stop him. He paints what he sees. He paints his world, and certain people, preferably or not, are part of that world. Oscar describes more as Victor translates.
His interest in the characters, the people we see every day, the football player, the travesti, the prostitute, the people you see every day. So he's interested in portraying that characters in his work. We can only paint things that we know about. We can only paint the realities we see every day, which we interact every day, trying to transmit the emotion of the people through abstraction, through painting, and people wouldn't have another way of doing it.
I came to El Salvador not knowing much about this country, about this world from which these artists stand. But there's this sentiment inside of me growing. It's a combination of admiration and respect for El Salvador. It is people like the artists at Urbano Colectivo that are painting the wings of this phoenix as it rises from the ash. High Plains Passport is written and produced by Valerie Smith, music from Jose Gonzalez and myself. Today's show is sponsored by the Cultural Relations Board of the City of Garden City, Kansas, advising the governing body on matters related to minority communities within the city. Information available at garden-city.org.